Underdog Fantasy continues to give you the most amount of lines and the most amount of options while building a prop entry for MMA. They'll even give you free money to explore. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my Underdog Fantasy entry for UFC Vegas 102. If you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than any of these numbers, you slap a few together, and you can make a bunch of money. They'll even give you free money to play. All you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and you'll have some free money. And you can take that free money, and you can build yourself an entry. And the better news is they even have promos. If we take a look today, by the time you're watching, you may not have this exact promo. You may have a different promo, but you should always check the homepage for promos. Today's is more than half a point on Jay Moran. They're essentially a gimme. So you take the gimme, you go ahead, they actually call it a gimme. You take the gimme, then you go ahead and add your most confident line to it. You max out whatever it is, you make some money, then you take that money, you build some other entries. Get the free money. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. Again, by the time you're watching it, that promo might not be available, but check the homepage. There's always something going on there. There's also these other boosts and vulture protection, all that stuff. I don't typically add these in. I like to play it straight, but you can certainly add a boost. And there's some, if you click apply, you'll see the 50% profit boost is there. We can look at that a little bit later. And here's the terms. If we click on the little I, how it all works, how you're eligible, all of that. Let's jump in. If we take a look at all of these lines, I open this up by saying Underdog Fantasy has the most amount of lines, and they straight up do. And by the time you watch this, there may be even more. They release them in a chunk, and then as the week goes on, they release more and more. It's a little bit of a risk-reward situation. The longer you wait, you may have more options, but the lines you do like, the value might be gone. So I like some lines. I'm just going to go ahead and attack them now. If I take a look later in the week and we have some other ones, like we may get lower for a finish on Jared Cannonier by the end of the week. And if we have that, I'll grab it. If we don't, then we're going to work with what we got. First thing we're going to do is go find Angelo Hill. And she's in here. I know she's in here, and here she is. And we're going to do the higher on the 79.5 significant strike line. And the reason we're going to do the higher on the 79.5 significant strike line is because she is a high-volume striker, and she's in a fight that likely goes to a decision. If we take a look at some of her fights, she scored 100 or landed 112 significant strikes in her last fight, which was a loss where she was taken down 3 times. Fight before that, there was a second-round finish, doesn't necessarily count. Fight before that, there were 6 takedowns, and she was a couple of punches shy of this number. If we go back a little farther, Emily Ducote, she landed 182. 85 against Lupita, oh boy, Freudian slip, Lupita Godinez. She has plenty of fights, a ton of fights where she's cruising past this number, and I think this one's more of the same because I don't think Souza's going to come in here, and I don't think Ketlin's just going to take her down 58 times and hold her there and she's not going to get her hands off. I think there'll be some cage control, some striking. I think it's all over the place. And even in a fight where she was held against the cage the whole time, in her last fight, she landed 112 strikes. So I think she does more of the same here. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look. We're going to find Rafael Estevam, wherever he is. He's probably up higher. Come on. What are we doing? Am I blind? There it is. Rafael Estevam, 2.5 takedowns. We're going to do the higher there. He is an aggressive wrestler. He comes forward. He shoots tons of takedowns. And this is an interesting fight where he's fighting a guy that loves guillotines. And this guy, the minute that Rafael touches his legs, is going to jump guillotine. And that's going to be a takedown, a takedown, a takedown. He's not going to be defending takedowns actively. And the other thing that works well for this takedown line is that his opponent, Jesus, is also incredibly tough, and he's a durable guy. So he's going to be in the fight for a long time. He's going to be accepting takedowns, and we're going to cruise past 2.5. If we take a look at the main event, let's go back up to Jared Cannonier. I know this is all over the place. We're going to do the higher on his 48.5 significant strike line. If we look at his fight history, he has blown past this number. Blown past it in basically every single fight. He more than doubled it in his last fight where he lost a decision. He got past it in his fight against Nassourdimov where he was finished. He 5 times it almost. And that's an exaggeration because he whatever. 20, did he 20? He landed 241 significant strikes. Yes, 5 times. I did the math. Look at me. Big Ange. 241 significant strikes against Marvin Vettori. 141 against Sean Strickland. 90 against Adesanya. 55 against Derek Brunson, 81 against Kelvin Gastelum, 53 against Robert Whitaker. You have to go all the way back to 2019 where he got a second-round knockout finish to where he didn't get past this number. So I think the higher there will make a little bit of sense. And then we're going to go ahead and find everybody's favorite fade, Dylan Budka, and we're going to do the over on his takedown line. Where are you, Dylan? Why am I struggling to read names while they're scrolling? Dylan Budka. This can't be serious. Found it. His takedown line is at 1.5. And we're going to do the higher. We're going to do the higher for a couple of reasons. One, that's a low. He just needs 2 takedowns, which he's done in previous fights. 2, he's fighting a guy that is useless when he's taken down. The game plan is 100% going to be to take him down. 3, he was the Division I wrestler. 4, these are boosted odds. They're giving us a bonus on the over 1.5. That's because everybody thinks he's going to get finished in the first 30 seconds. I don't see that happening. I think he gets the takedowns. I already have this entry built, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's go ahead and recap the entry. We got Angelo Hill, higher than 79.5 significant strikes. Jared Cannonier, higher than 48.5 significant strikes. Dylan Budka, higher than 1.5 takedowns. And Rafael Estevam, higher than 2.5 takedowns. This is my entry. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine. That's fine. And by the time you're watching this, you may have more options and you may build yourself a better entry. But the most important thing here, get your free money. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WWP. Get the free money. Build whatever entry you want. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWP.